Hey guys, this is Aaron coming at you with a video about our Clipboard system. So a lot of people have asked, how does this work? So I'm in one of my offices on a day when we're doing business and we're very busy here. So I've got to just kind of work around them, but I'm going to show you how this thing works. So if you can come over here, this is all of our technicians. This store is a 5-tech store. Okay, doing about, I'd say 800 to 1,000 hours a month. So with us doing that, we run this Clipboard system where we take each ticket and it matches what's going on digitally and put it in a bin. The reason we do this and do it digitally is it signifies for all of the technicians what's going on. So they get a clipboard out there that they may not open up on their computer that tells them, this is my job, I gotta do it now. Right? Same thing with advisors. If you try to get an advisor's attention and they're on lunch or on the phone, whatever, if you take this clipboard out of the bin it's supposed to be in and actually put it on their desk, they have to move it to get to the next thing. So it works very good as a trigger point to tell you about the next thing that's happening. So always make sure you understand that physical objects, a lot of people think they're redundant and extra work. Once you get an automatic pilot, it really isn't any extra work. They have to come to the office anyway to get their key. So in this setup, our technician would come in, he gets his clipboard, he gets his parts, and he gets his key. And the keyboard's listed off of each guy. We have an inspection station, and we have each single technician's responsibilities, then we have the completed section. Same thing over here in this section here next to our board system. We even have the inspection bin right here, right below it. We don't have the real estate in this store to have the bins next to it. Some of you have much bigger walls where you can put your boards, you set your board system up right next to your bins. I've seen some much cooler designs. Now, as well over here, we have our waiting for parts. This is our main waiting for parts. As this overflows, because we had shorter employees, we couldn't keep going higher, so we ended up putting a tray right here in front of it. So this is the overflow. So every single car that's waiting on parts, if it's on the bin or on the board and in the computer waiting on parts, it's also waiting on parts here. Then we have bins above all the advisors and the parts and the manager. They all have their own bins to keep stuff off their desk, and that's where every clipboard goes every single time. So as you can see, this keeps things very organized, and it allows us to have a physical representation of where something is in the system. Please make sure you always understand that while we can use computers and trust software, we have to remember that a lot of times our employees don't always get triggered to jump to the next item. And what can happen is a lot of cars can stack up in the waiting for parts or inspection station, but because there's no physical object in your system that triggers them to move on to the next step, they won't do it. So while your tech might be the most efficient person out there, if he doesn't know he has cars to work on, it's not going to make things faster. So I encourage you, please use a physical option, like we do with the clipboard, to keep things moving. We'll break into the clipboard a little bit deeper whenever we talk about our tech sheets and walk you guys through how we build our quotes in another video. But for now, this is how they're laid out in a basic sense. Let me show you one other back here. Now, we also have our last stop. When our technician's done working on a car, our technicians, when they get done turning in something, they sign off on their completed by, and they write their initials. And once they sign off and they have their flag sheet sticker, and they put it here, which I'll break into in more detail into another video, they put the key here. This is our GS's bin. So our GS will then jump in, grab the car, he grabs the board, the clipboard, and he grabs the key, finds the car, checks it out, and does our QC process like we teach. And when he does that, he also grabs one of these remote controls if it's winter, so he can open the garage door and close the garage door behind him. That way, just to keep the heat in. So you can see, for our GS out in the shop, when the technician's done with the job, he's gonna go take the ticket, he's gonna drop it here. Once the ticket's dropped here, now this technician knows, the GS knows he's supposed to do it. Also, the magnet's moved on the board. So when this system's done, what ends up happening is, he puts the key here, he puts the clipboard here, now the GS can come grab the ticket, take it, look at what the tech did, or see that's been signed off on that one. Then he grabs, if it's winter time, grabs the remote control to open up the garage door, grabs the key, and he takes off. That way, as this GS works and he understands his system, he's getting a physical trigger out in the shop. I'm about to knock this off. You have to make sure that in your shop you have physical triggers at each system, because it's not about how fast each position is, but it's how fast you can navigate the transition of the job from one position to the next. That's where most of us lose our efficiency. It's not the slow technician, it's actually the handoff. So we use clipboards to speed up the handoff because it's a physical reminder of you've got another ticket, you got another car, you got another project you need to knock out. All right, guys, I hope this helps you. Remember to focus and understand how this system works. Some of our stores, I let my managers set up it their own way, but some of our stores even run hooks on our lifts. In the car they're working on, the clipboard is hanging on a hook on the lift. So you figure out what works for you in your shop, but you try thinking about using a physical trigger. It's a huge game changer in your shop and getting the efficiency up. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video.